So guys, Nick here with some raw day trading. I am doing a little video. It's quite late in the day. But today it's going to be about kind of like how I adjust and get kind of creative when I see these market maker tricks going on. The thing is although the market's constantly changing, you're not allowed to stop adapting to it. And once you just get that through your head, you take it slowly at first, and then you go and you adapt, and everything's going to be okay. You have smaller size usually, and you usually figure it out, and you just step by step go through that process. So let's get into it. I have a couple timestamps of some stuff that happened. I'm up pretty small today, just carefully. Basically, I'm hiding. Not the most glamorous thing to say, but for all intents and purposes, I'm trading small. I am not trusting that I'm going to get filled right. I'm not trusting that the system's not going to glitch. I didn't expect, I didn't expect much coming into the open. Although there was a pattern that I noted that because the pre-market was so muted, I partially was like, all right, I know I said I wasn't going to trade till 10 because I wasn't planning on trading till like at least a half an hour past, just to make sure all of the sort of glitches that could happen or really wild fills that could happen kind of pass, come and go, and I'm able to get a firmer grasp on the price action, and that's what I was looking to do. So because the market was very slow in the pre-market, there's usually like this inverse relationship with like how crazy it is in the pre-market versus how crazy it is in the during the open. Let me just get my hands in the picture. And so because the pre-market was so lame, I was like, all right, maybe the actual open will be amazing. And in some ways it was. I didn't take any trades on Nui. Nui was just a pretty high price stock. I mean, I might have had like one trade on it, but it wasn't really my cup of tea. It's moving really wild out the open. It's kind of going before the open even happens. And I'm like, what? Oh, and then it wasn't even like, you can see here the halt levels hadn't registered, or actually you'll see in a second. The halt levels here. So this is the open. It's 10 seconds in. The halt levels aren't showing, so the stock's not open yet. So it's not even actively like there's still an imbalance. And unless you're throwing in market orders, I don't even know. Maybe I'd be able to get in. I had really small share size. I only had 250 shares queued up. Funny enough, this is a $20 stock. There was a $4 stock that I'll show you APM in a second that it felt just as like crazy, and I traded that with 250 shares as well, which is wild. Not all the time. Sometimes it was 500, but I still made $250 on that on like 250 shares. It's what? Let me look. How big is that position? Like, all right, 500. No, why am I going for euros? I just need a calculator. Basic. Okay. No. Basic. Why is I don't know why my calculator is trying to convert whatever I have to euros, but all right. So yeah, I don't like that. Okay, cool. I think I got it now. So 250 times, let's call it 350. That was an $875 position, and off that 875 position, I made like, I don't know, a good amount of money. I made like $200, 250. So sometimes I traded with 500 shares, but like the biggest moves I had was with 250 shares. I think. Anyways, it was going wild. This stock here is going wild, but it's not even open yet. So unless you're in before the open or you're trading with limit orders, you're not going to get filled. It goes into a halt immediately, even though the halt bands haven't registered yet. And then out. And then I'm like trying to take it. It's a little continuation. It was an annoying, stupid stock from yesterday. Whatever. I lose $30 or so on that. I don't care. New Way halts 10 minutes, goes all the way up into the thing. TDTH, I'm too hesitant on this one, and it jiggles around below $1 and just blows through. Then New Way opens, really rips higher, opens higher, rips higher, goes up to like $24. Although, let's look at the price action out this open. I don't know. I traded the APM open, and I got a really nasty fill on it. And it brought me down to like, I lost $50 on like, no, I lost $50. So like 10 cents a share on 500 shares on the APM open, which you'll see in a sec. But this one, let's see here. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of range in the actual price action. It seems like it's all kind of just like pinging back and forth between spreads. Like low 23s to high 23s. Yeah, it seems like whoever's getting filled is really taking some slippage. So I was not willing to waste my life with that. TDTH goes much crazier than I thought it would. It reverses this initial, failure here after popping above $1, and I jump out. I don't care. I just got a text from my friend. I accidentally insulted her by making a joke about, I don't know, something. I don't know why it hurt her so bad, but I don't know. I said sorry. We move on. She just texted me though, so. Okay, so this is APM kind of like recovering here. I don't take it, but it grinds up into a halt. Really nice, massive grind here. Probably should have been paying attention to that or playing this. TDCH will fail here in a second after it kind of halts up here, or tries to halt up and then just grind down lower. This APM is, oh gosh, what did I do? No, bring me back. Okay, so missed this, but out of this halt, watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Actually, I'm even just gonna. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I'm watching it. I'm like, I jump in. I get filled at 21. All right. And I get filled at 12, and it's back to 21. I guess fine, but like that was really annoying. And so because of that, I was just like, I'm not gonna trust this. Because I don't trust it, of course it goes. It's just the name of the game. It's kind of jiggling around here. There's just too much going on to really tell if like I got slippage on that or not. But when that happens, I start to think about stocks differently, and I start to look for more extreme moves. So when there's slippage, more extreme moves are expected. What's next? It halts up again. It's going to open here, and then I'm going to catch this. It's going to sell off, and I'm like, it really hasn't made an attempt higher. This is looking ugly. I took one small trade, and I cut it. Oh, I think I might actually take this with 500 shares. Okay, never mind. Not 250, 500 shares. Okay, so I'm like, it's looking ugly. It's trying to go lower, but it's not going lower. And so I jump in a little bit high, in my opinion. I didn't kind of preempt it, and then it goes, and I cut it for like 20 cents. Wait, was that 30 cents? How many cents a share was that? I was almost 30 cents a share. It was 25 cents. Was it? Uh-huh. Almost 30 cents. And like just instantly. And so after that, I put the kid gloves on this one, and I was like, yo, I'm going to be very careful with this. If I'm making, it's a $2 stock, and I'm making, 30-cent moves with, it's moving 30 cents in like a second. You really have to understand what you're doing and understand how to adapt to the market maker. So this is how I kind of look at it. It's selling off. The market makers are like, it's clearly looking ugly, right? It's clearly looking like it's going down, and it definitely can go down. It came out of a halt. It's had this wild move. It's up 135%. I'm just testing the water here. It's not really giving me the bounces. It's under the 50 cents. It's going to test under, I think, 25 cents again. And, I'm giving it more space because of what happened earlier with the slippage, because it's out of the second halt, because it's trying to like sell off here. I'm giving it more space, and I know that it could fail. And so I also have smaller size on, because I know the moves are going to be crazier. I know they're going to be irrational in the way that it's been different than a normal stock setup. So that's really what I think. And this is not day trading advice. This is just how I handle these situations. So in my mind, I'm thinking irrational, right? I'm thinking everything's not going to make sense in the moment. And so here, I'm like, it has a lot of potential. It's kind of like a 5-minute setup. I can't take it at the high of the 5-minute setup because that risk is just insane. If I take it up at 2.6 and it pops all the way down to 2, I'm just like, even with 500 shares, that's like a $300 loss, or $300 loss about. And so I'm down here. I'm like, okay, I can take a 20-cent loss. 20 cent is fine. And it's instantly up like that, and I'm selling. Okay, so I would say I should have held. And looking back on it, hindsight is 2020. I think the problem was it went in my direction too quick. I expected there to be some fight down there. Because it went in my direction, because I had that instantaneous win, I took it off the table. Just because statistically, in my experience, I found that when stuff like that happens, when you're surprised with how good it is, it's usually a fake out, and it's usually going to come back in the other direction and really roast you. So I took it off the table. I was like, all right, I made a bunch of money. Did not expect to make that. I mean, a bunch of money, $200 or $150. But I made some money on that. Did not expect to make 30 cents a share instantly. Honestly, didn't even get a chance to add if I wanted to. And this thing is already crazy. Looking back on it, I also should have held in my mind the fact that, look, this 5-minute setup, the halt up hasn't really been tested. I could probably risk 30 cents. Like, I could probably get out for a break even if it comes back down against me. I was only in at 30, 34. Okay, that's low enough to where I can probably wait to see how this candle closes. And in fact, it closed strong. It pops up again. Now it's fighting here. The sellers are fighting it, and it's trying to sell, and it's succeeding. Not that great, honestly. Like, whoever even jumped and chased it is in nicely. And now it's halting up into $2. And I think with this strong candle, I would have just held. If I held the candle, I would have held through. And then the open looks like this, up to 325. Yeah, 10-minute open. Okay, so probably selling. I mean, that would have been the right thing to do, but maybe I wouldn't have. Maybe I wouldn't have sold. Maybe I would have held through it. Let's see how it looks. So it's selling off here. There's liquidity up there. I could have got out for 3.5 easily, 3.05 easily. Doesn't pop back up. down, 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 I would be really paying attention here, really looking at it. It looks like it's kind of holding though. I do know in hindsight that it does go up. Seeing how this candle will close will be pretty important here. If it closes like that, I don't know what I would do, but if it makes a nice recovery here, which I think it does, then I'd be like, all right, market makers were just playing, they're not serious. That was just a minor fluctuation. And now it's printing the 40s. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I would just be holding. I'd be like, I mean, theoretically, right? In reality, that would be a lot harder to, yeah, now it's back down to 3. So these are like 50-cent swings on a $3 stock, which is wild. Absolutely wild. People are not playing around on this thing. There's lots of volume going through. There's not a lot of market makers holding the price action steady. And it's just jumping. It's teleporting. So how do you handle that? You just, I handle that by backing off and waiting for it to calm down a little bit. And I think this is what I'm doing here. I'm even decreasing my size a little because I'm like, I want to keep my gains. I lose a little, gain a little. Oh no, actually I make a little. Just small trades though. And then 10.01 to 10. Yeah, I got that. Nasty slip on, okay, so OP, there was some nasty slip here and I was fighting with this stock. So 10.25, and this almost, like I almost gave back my entire day at the moment. Okay, so OP, it's pretty low volume. It's only got 3 million shares. So like 3 million shares back in the day would have been okay because market makers regulated stuff in a different way. Nowadays, 3 million shares is basically nothing. It's not at the open. It's an hour past the open. So there's like there's a lot of factors going against this name, and it's, you know, I only have 1,500 shares on it, but it's moving pretty volatilely, and then I just get really bad slippage like on this entry. So it's going to be failing here. The 5-minute just closed, and I'm going to buy in, trying to buy at 28 into that. Yeah, I literally try to buy into this seller. There's a 8,000 share seller, which is a fake seller. They spoofed. So they spoofed it. Okay, fine. And then I made a mistake where I held afterwards. So like 8,300 seller, I buy immediately. It's getting filled at $32, going, and then now fading back down to 28. And so like that type of shice is not super good, you know, very Schwab-esque. I don't know if another market maker would have just filled me right there, like if I had direct access routing, maybe. But I literally just paid $70 for that order. So they're making their money. I cancel it. I let it fail. I jump back in and I make a little bit of money on the second dip. It was sort of, I was playing carefully, but it could have also went not great. I was kind of sweating a little bit. Anyways, that's about it for the day. That's how I handle these changing market maker conditions. Basically very lightly, very slowly, and I'm sort of trying to hide till I get a better idea of like when I can really smack it. Or if I can really smack it at all, because what's really happening is you're just getting slippage. Whenever I find stocks that aren't giving me slippage, like I'll go heavy. I don't mind. I'll get it. But the amount of slippage is really eating up the trust and the confidence mainly. And just making it to where you just can't, trade as aggressively. But $300 is $300, and I'm gonna move on from here and do better tomorrow. So, bon voyage, guys. Catch you later. Remember, day trading is risky too. It's not investment advice.